Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Elements of Success. I'm your host, Talha Jarad. We are talking about anger. Well, we stated before that anger is probably the worst emotion that a person might have, and it's the emotion that manifests itself as an expression of all the negative emotions. Now, anger can drags the person down, can change his complete life and make him completely unsuccessful because he loses his relationship, he loses his temper quickly, so people do not really want to help him and support him. Now, negative people really, they blame their angers on things that are outside. They probably say it's genetic. You know, my father has always had a short temper. My mother, my family. Well, it's in the family. It's in the genes. So they get this as an excuse for themselves to become angry and to allow themselves to become angry. Sometimes they blame their environments. It's my upbringing. It's how I was brought up. It's the environment that I live in. It is not me. It's the outside circumstances that cause me to be angry. So they either blame it on the surrounding environment, they blame it on their genetics, or they blame it to any other external factor not related to themselves. But responsible people, proactive people, take full control and full responsibility of what they do. And as we said before, they understand the concept of responsibility, the ability to choose our responses toward the things that happen to us. And this is very important. Once you understand this concept, you can be in charge and in control of your emotions, and you can control how things happen to you, and you can be in full control of your emotions and hence full control of your life. Now, we talked about anger and its impact on the body and the physical side of the person, on the mental side of the person, on your nervous system, and your blood pressure, and all of these things. It has really very big negative impact on the person at all different levels. So what are the steps to help us get out of this anger? What is the remedy for anger? How can we learn not to be angry? By the way, you can. And you can learn how not to be angry and be in full control of your emotions and become more in control of your emotions, more in control of your feeling, and become less and less angry as the time passes by, till you become in full control of yourself as the time passes by. Well, number one, you need to understand and think of the negative impacts of anger. Now, as you probably heard over the course of this program, anger impacts you in all levels. So once you understand this and its impact on your physical body and your mental health, on your relationship and all of these things, you can become less and less attracted to anger, and then you started a process of change from within to change your attitude and become less and less angry. Also, understanding how Islam dealt with anger. Here is a situation where the Prophet ﷺ was sitting, and there were people talking to each other, and the situation heated up, and they started exchanging words, and one of them got extremely upset, and the Prophet was watching, and he said, I know a word that if the person, one of them says it, it will calm him down. So the companion asked, what is this word? He said, to say, I seek refuge in Allah from the Satan, the rejected one. Now, if you say this and you think about it, you remember that the Satan wants to drag you down. The Satan wants you to get angry so you can lose not only your relationship, not only your ability to succeed, not only your future, but also you lose your credits with Allah, and you lose your relationship with Allah. Because you remember, when you harm somebody because you are angry, that's not an excuse. In the Day of Judgment, you're going to have to pay it, or you're going to pay it in this life. Remember the law of absolute justice? You will end up paying what you've committed, whether in this life or in the hereafter. So it's very important to understand this, to understand that, well, if I get out of control, I'm going to pay for it now or in the future, whether, as I said, in this life or in the hereafter. Also, to understand that you can be in control. Now, when the Prophet said in several occasions, for example, once he said to the companion, the strong one is not the one who throws people around. Is not the one who's the most fit and healthy, and he can carry people and throw them around and he can wrestle anybody. No, that's not the strong one. He said the strong one is the one who can control himself when angry. Controls himself when angry. That's really the true strength. Because if you control yourself when you are angry, this is the ultimate strength, because now you're controlling this huge emotion that impacts your entire body. And if you learn how to control it, then you know how to control anything in your life. Now you become in charge, in command of your life, because you learn how to control your life. So this is another thing, to know that this is a strength really, to know how to control your life and how to deal with it. Also, you need to ask Allah for help. Ask Allah to help you in what you want to achieve, which is to be less and less angry and to be more and more in control. The Prophet taught us that you ask Allah for everything that you want to achieve in life. And this is one of the things that you want to achieve. You want to achieve a level where you become more in control and less out of control. We all know that the Prophet taught us, for example, to ask Allah for help to get over the sorrow, the sadness, the anxiety, and all of this. So why not anger? So ask Allah to help you sincerely in your prostration, in your prayer. Ask Allah to help you to become more in control, more in charge, and less angry. And the more you do this, and the more you keep thinking about this, the more you get it. You remember what we said before, that it starts with your thought. And if your thought is to change and you to become better, and you keep this as a dominant thought, you will change and you will become better. And you will attract, as by the law of attraction, circumstances and people that will help you in that position, which is your ability to change. Now also, remember that one of the things that Islam taught us to deal with anger is to change your position. And in certain other circumstances, or probably to make an ablution. Why is that? The point is well, if somebody is standing up, he's ready to fight. That the Prophet said that if you become angry in a certain situation, he mentioned that, okay, get stuck to the ground. Well, the point here is that change the situation you are in, so you are less in ability to react. Because let's imagine that if you are standing up and you are ready to throw fists, you are ready to punch, you are ready to wrestle, because now you're ready, you are in a situation that you can do something. But you are sitting down, you have less ability. And if you can't control yourself, go and lay down on the ground or on the pillow or something. So that will takes the stress out, because now you are less and less in control of your ability to fight back, to retaliate. And hence, you understand this process, and even probably go and take an ablution, which, the point here out of it is not just to do it, but because now you distracted your mind out of this certain things, and instead of thinking of this anger, you're now doing some activity. So these activities will take away out of this energy that's now inside you, and gradually dissolves and goes away. As we said, anger is something that you control. Anger is something that you have the ability to do. This is why the Prophet, when a man came to him and he said, give me an advice, he said, do not get angry, or do not become angry. He said, give me another advice. He said, do not become angry. He said, give me a third advice. He said, do not become angry. So remember, you are in charge. You are in control. You are in control of your life. You are in control of your emotions. You are in control of your feelings. And on top of all of this, you are in control of your thought. Change your thought, and you will change your level of emotions that's inside you. As we said before, nobody can make you angry except you. Nobody can make you upset except you. You choose to be upset, you choose to be angry, because you wanted to. And you have the ability not to be. And if you change your thought and decide, I'm not going to be upset, I'm not going to become angry, and you see yourself, imagine yourself calm, cool, and full tranquility ahead of time, you prepare yourself for the situation, you will never become angry to lose it in a certain point. This is really something that you also have to think of as a practice. You can't do this overnight. It's a habit. You probably have built this habit of short temper over a long period of time. So don't expect to change overnight. It's not magic. But you can do it. The point is that you can do it. And you have to keep doing it and keep doing it. Change your thoughts. Think of the rewards. Think of the reward that Allah will give you for controlling your anger. Because Allah mentioned as an example of those who will be alleviated in heaven, one of their characteristics is that they control their anger and they forgive people. They control their anger and they forgive people. This is very important. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praised those people and mentioned that those people will get higher and higher in paradise based on several factors, but some of these factors is that they control their anger, they control their wrath, and also they forgive people when they harm them. This is very important. And this makes you think that I'm getting the reward of Allah. I don't have to retaliate because now I'm seeking the reward from Allah. And Allah will reward me for controlling my anger. And now that becomes a different feeling. And as we said, we apply other things by trying to do some activities, trying to take your mind off the situation, try to explain it to yourself differently, try to change your thought process so you don't get stuck in the situation, but you become out of the situation. And hence, once you become out of the situation, now you see yourself differently. You see yourself calm, in control, in tranquility, and nothing can tip you off easily or tick you off, because now you are in control and nobody is in control. You are in control of your life, and nobody can make you upset, and nobody can cause you to lose it. Nobody can cause you to become something that you do not want to become. As I said, it's a process. You need to keep doing it and doing it and doing it over and over and over, and building your ability and resistance back. Because anger takes away of your resistance over the course of time. And you see some people, they have so quick reaction to things. They quickly get angry. Why? They lost their resistance. They have no resistance left in their system, in their body, because they train themselves just to quickly respond to things. So they never had this gap between the stimulus and the response. They lost it. They are completely ready to retaliate all the time. And what you need is to rebuild this resistance back. Build it back gradually. And you do it once. You might not do it perfectly. You might still get angry, but less than before. And you keep doing it and doing it till you reach to a point where you are in full control. Once you learn how you control your anger, there is no limit of what you can achieve. There are no limits except what we feel internally and what we create internally. And anger, once we know how to control it, we release lots of energy and lots of negative emotions, and then we can become a lot better than what we are. We ask Allah to make us all among those who control themselves, and among those who are successful in this life and the hereafter. Thank you for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.